So in our previous video, we were able to use hxget to point to the to-dos route. That's the to-dos route here. The to-dos route calls fetch tasks, which is a function that we wrote that queries our database, gets our tasks, and sends them into our to-dos template. Our to-dos template basically takes the tasks and loops over them, creating the list item for each to-do item. So in our home.ejs, we use hxget. We use hxget to point to the to-dos route and also make sure that it's triggered on load. So it calls this endpoint, gets our list of to-dos, and it does it once the application is loaded, once the page is loaded. And that's why in our browser, when we refresh, it's always loaded. Yeah, we always get that HTTP call immediately this page is loaded. I think I can increase this side. Let me see. Yep. Yeah, getting bigger. Let's give it more space. Okay, so we can see more stuff here. So good. We're returning HTML into the page and we're loading our tasks. In this video, we're going to be learning how to add a new task. Yeah, we're going to learn how to add a new task to this list. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is go to VS Code. We're going to be writing another template, which is basically another piece of HTML that we want to return. And this is going to be the add task form template. Add task form, which is going to be a form that helps us add a new task. So add .ejs extension, .ejs. Pretty cool. This, like I said, is a form. So let's get a form in. We don't need an action because HTMX is going to take care of that. So get a form. I have a div, and this div is going to hold an input field of type text. So an input field of type text, that should be good. Because we want to send this request with HTMX using the form format, we need to add a name. So I'm just going to say task. Yeah, just going to say task. ID, do I need an ID? Not really. So we can just get rid of that. Placeholder will be nice. You can say enter new task. New task. Now let me pull this guy and rub this view to get the scroll bars out of the way. So new task, and to add some niceties with Bootstrap, I'm just going to come at the tail end here and say class form control. So just going to add some Bootstrap styling to make the form nice, but you can ignore this. Like I said, you can ignore all the Bootstrap stuff. You don't need it. It's not compulsory. So I have a name for the task, and that's basically all we need. We just need to save a task. The status of the task, which is the done field, is going to be a default, so you don't need to worry about that. The next thing we need to add is a button. So we need a button. So I'm just going to add a button, and to also add some Bootstrap stuff to make it nice, we say class btn primary. And this button, we have the label add task with a capital T. So add task, and for now that should be everything. Maybe type submit. I don't know. Type submit. Should it be? Yeah, I think probably HTMX will just cancel the default event on this. But I'm not sure if this is necessary, but let's just leave it there. Let's leave it there. So add tags, that's fine. Now we have this template. We need this form to show up here in the tax form section. That's here in the tax form section. Now we can get fancy and use HTMX to load it. We are even going to be creating an endpoint to load it. That's going to be there, and we can load it up here. But why do that when we can just use an include? We can just use an include statement from EJS to include it by default. So it comes with a page, and I'm going to use the include function, and that will be. Do I need to reference templates? No, I don't. They are relative to each other, so I'll just say add task form. Add task form. Yeah, and close this up. Okay. Yeah, good. By the way, don't forget this. Don't forget this dash. Yeah, don't forget this. So yeah, we included this with EJS, so that we can now see it on our page, and it's going to display this guy. It's going to display the form. Very soon we're going to be swapping this for an edit form, but that's much later. So save this and let's refresh. Let's restart our application. Let me just clear this so that we can, yeah, we're getting too too deep. So we start our application. Good, that's running. Now when we reload this page, we should see the form. Yeah, we should see the form. So let us reload. Form. Yeah, I almost thought that was failing. So we have the form, add new task. We added it with EJS. So that's pretty cool. That's good. This might need some padding. Let me see if I can. No, not here. Quickly add that. Yeah, the button. I don't have to. MT1. Adding top 1. Bootstrap. Yeah, it's kind of laborious. I have to restart my server to just make that small fix, but that is my punishment for not setting up something like NodeMon. So let's refresh the page. Okay, yeah, so we have yeah, this is better. There's more, there's breathing space here now. So now we have add new task. Yep, that's the form. But this form is still a dummy form for now. You can't add anything. So it's now time to add the functionality to add stuff. So what is the first thing we do? Let's go back to our server. Go back to our server code. I don't know why I keep coming here. Let's go back to our server code. Okay, let's go back to server code. First, I want to create an endpoint that gets that form. Because like I said, later on we will need to swap it for the update form and also swap the update form for this form. So I will create a get task form endpoint, and that will just simply take a callback. And the callback is going to be simple. It's just going to be res.render templates / add task form. Yeah. So it's just a simple endpoint that returns the task form. And we're going to be calling it whenever we need to swap an edit form for a new form. So we have that in place, but we still need to add the main route that is going to add a new task. Yeah, we need to add the main route that's going to add a new task. And that will be a route that's going to take a post request, and it will be / add task. And we say async because we definitely are going to be doing some asynchronous operations here. So it's async res. Good. So we'll pass our async route handler, and with that in place, the first thing we want to do is get the body of the request, because if you look at this form, you know we're sending a name, we're sending a piece of data called task. So we need to get the body of the request. So let's just say const data equals rec.body. Yeah, rec.body. Okay, rec.body. Like I said, don't forget this line. When you're using forms in HTMX, when you're using forms to send data, don't forget this line in your Node.js setup. Or whatever Node.js server you're using, make sure that you can get URL encoded data. So const data rec.body. So we have our data, we have our task inside here. So let's run our operation. Let's do a try catch to run our add operation. And inside our try block, the first thing we're going to do is add a add SQL query to add a new item. So set this, and we say insert into the tasks table task. Yeah, add task, and values, just one value, and we make that a parameter. Yeah, set that to a parameter that we're going to feed in later. So yeah, insert into task, and yeah, we just want to add task. The ID is going to auto increment, and the done field is going to have a default of 0. So let's then run the query. So const add equals await await, yeah, db dot query. We pass the add SQL, and we also need a piece of data, which is the task that comes from this data. So we need to fill in this question mark. So that will be into an array data dot task. The task. That's cool. That's cool. Now, what do we return back? What do we return back? Now, there's two ways you can do this. You can return a single item. You can return a single task item and have HTMX. Where's the to-dos list? You have HTMX appended to this list. Yeah, there's a way you can do that, and that's pretty cool. But for me, I'm just going to be returning all the tasks. I'm just going to return all the tasks back. So you have the list refreshed. So let's say that where is that useful, and where in which cases is it a dumb idea? Where it's useful is if a lot of people are working on the application and you make an update, and it is you get your updated list, you will also get every other person's update. Or if anything in the system has made an update to the list, you get all those updates fresh. But if you return just one list item and you append it to the list, where's the list again? And you append it to the list, you only get the change that you made. So that's where it's pretty cool. You just always get a refreshed list. Now, where is it a dumb idea? If it's a list of, let's say, 1,000 items, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. It's very good for paginated lists and lists that probably just 10 items, 20 items else. You're just going to be burning up your bandwidth. So whichever one is better for your use case, do it. For here, it's simpler for me to just return everything. And because I already have the shiny fetch tasks function that just returns everything, that's just pretty cool. So I'm just going to say await and call fetch tasks. So as usual, fetch tasks is going to query my DB, get all the to-dos, and return them using this template. So for this example, that's just pretty smooth. For our error, let's just console.error and pass in error. Okay, so that's cool. Can we test now? Yeah, I think so. So we have this, and also, like I said, this is not a very fancy application. We're not doing some duplicate check for the tasks. So you might want to do that in your application. You want to check whether someone is trying to submit a duplicate task and all that, but we're just trying to have fun. So we have this, it adds it to the list, and it runs fetch tasks, which just returns a new updated list to the client. So now let's test it out. I believe we can. No, we can't test this out now because we still need to use HTMX here to send the request. Yeah, we need to use HTMX here to send the request. So we have our endpoint in place. It's a post endpoint add task. Let's just copy that, and we know what it does. So let's go back here, and we can write HTMX. So here we will use HX post because we're calling a post endpoint. We use HX post, set it to /add task. Like I said, we're on the same server. The client is on the same server, so we can just use the relative path add task. And but that's not the only thing we want to do. Once this is done, once this add task is done, whatever is coming from the server, this time a fresh list of tasks, we want to tell it where to go, where that content should be put into. And definitely we want to put it here. We want to put it in our task list. We want to put it in this task list. We want to put it there. That's where our task is. Our tasks reside. So I'm going to copy this ID and go to add task form, and we're going to use HX target. HX target equals, use our selector. We put in our ID. We need to put the pound sign here. So we come here so that it will be a qualified CSS selector. So we say put it inside the task list. Anything that is coming back from the server, put it in the task list. So we save that. Now, assuming we wanted to append, let's say we're just returning one item and wanted to append it to the list. We'll just do this. We'll say HX target should be task list UL, but we need to add one more thing. Else it's going to replace everything inside UL with that single task. We need to tell it HX swap equals before end. That means add it before the end of the list. So you just add it to the end of the list. But like I said, here we're just returning a full list, so Yep, we don't need all this stuff. Don't need our selector to be this complicated. And we can just stick everything inside the task list. So let's save this and hope everything works fine. Save. We have our endpoint. Okay, everything looking good. Yeah. Now let's go back to our command line to restart the server. It's back up running. Let's go to a browser. Refresh the page. Everything's still looking cool and good. Now let's add a new task. Just watch me. Yeah, watch me do it. So what do I want to do after editing the video? I want to publish it to YouTube or Udemy or whatever. So just say publish video. Yeah. So publish video. So publish video, we should see an HTTP request once we click this add task button. So let us click. So add task, publish video, bam. Smooth, cool, good, add task, and it returns a new list. Returns a new list, and now we have our freshly updated list. How awesome is that? How awesome is that? Now, just one thing before we go. If we want to add new, like I said, this is not a fancy application. I will continue to say this is not a fancy application, so we're not doing a lot of checks. You can use something like jQuery, or just write your JavaScript, or listen to an event on HTMX to clear this list when you are done. That's after the request is done. But for me, and for what we're going to be doing later with the update function, I'm just going to add a button. I'm going to come here, and on my home.ejs, just up here inside the first column, I'm going to add a new div with a button. Just a normal button. And that button would say add new task. Add new task. That's what the button will say. So add new task, and what this basically does is that it will call HX get, and HX get will simply just go to this endpoint, this get task form endpoint. So copy it. Get task form returns the add task form. Yeah. So it will go to that endpoint, and I want to load it into this place. I want to load it here. So it will go to that endpoint and fetch the form and make sure it puts it HX target. Make sure it puts it in this task list, task form rather, in this task form div. Put it in the task form div. Anything that is there, replace it with this. And I also need to add a pound to make sure that this is a qualified selector. And I'm using Bootstrap, so I might as well just add some styling. So let's just say class btn success. That's the green button. So save that. Once again, refresh our start this, and go to the browser, refresh the page. So now we have our add new task. So let's say I want to add a new task. I say promote video. Say promote video, and I click add task, and it adds it as we expect. I can just click add new task, and it gives me a fresh form. So pretty cool, pretty good. Everything working smooth and fine. And we've been able to add our implement our add task function. In the next video, we're going to learn how to update tasks. Yeah, we're going to be updating tasks. So see you in the next video.